How to build your personal style from scratch. So, this is one of the most difficult questions that I get from people, that they don't know how to build their own personal style and how to find it. So let's first go into the reasons why it's so hard to find your personal style. First one is, of course, overwhelm. Before you even start, your brain is like, there's too many fashion sources. There's Instagram, there's magazines, there's Vogue, there's people telling you things, and there's your own interests that you like, but you don't know where to start. And most men in Australia that I've styled have all had this problem about overwhelm. They don't know what to wear, so instead they just wear basic things, very, very basic things, because they're overwhelmed and they're scared to try things. They're scared to stand out too much from the norm. So too much info equals where to start. This creates cognitive overload. Cognitive overload. Brain gives up before you even try. Your brain will give up before you even try because of this. And it's true, because we live in an information age. We have information everywhere. We're on our phones all the time, and people are always telling us things, people are sharing things with us, and there's always a new fashion trend. So if there's always a new fashion trend, as soon as you buy this trend, there's another trend as well. So it's very funny. A lot of women as well have struggled with this, because if they're always seeing new influencers promote something and then they buy it and it doesn't really suit them, then they think, maybe I'm the person that's wrong. Maybe my body is wrong, or I'm not stylish, or I can't do this. And it all goes back to mindset, of course. And this is why I always talk about psychology on this channel, because fashion is psychology, guys. We often think the worst of ourselves, and we think that we're not as good as other people. And we have to shift this mindset. So this is why I want to get into this. So lack of identity is, of course, another big point. Identity misalignment. The clothes are inauthentic, and therefore you have low confidence because of this. Authenticity leads to confidence. When you are authentically yourself, this leads to happiness and confidence, because you're showing the world that you don't care what they think, and all that matters is what you think. And the first time you do this, you'll be scared. For example, the first time I ever wore rings in Australia as a man, where Australia, most men do not wear any accessories at all, I was scared. I was so worried what other people were thinking. And this is true. Like, honestly, this is true. I think in about 2019, 2020. And I wore rings. And I love to wear rings now. I always wear rings every day. But back then, I did this the first time. I was scared. But I always saw it on other people, and I thought, this is something I should try. And I tried it. And then the second time, it was a bit easier. And the third time was easier. And the fourth time, it was natural. So I want to use this example to show you guys that the first time you do anything, it's always going to be scary, especially when you express yourself. And now looking back on it, it's such a simple thing, literally just wearing rings. But because of my environment, because of where I came from, Australia, if you wore accessories, most people consider you to be gay or something like that. Even if you wear a scarf, or if you wear things that are different, people will assume things of you, and they'll talk down on you. They'll say names about you. They'll say things about you. Now, to get out of that mindset, you have to do what makes you happy. You have to showcase your identity through your clothes, because fashion is all about identity. Most people think fashion is about showing off how much money you have. And that's why a lot of people buy the same things. A lot of people wear the Cartier bracelet. A lot of people wear, the Gucci glasses or the Gucci belt, because other people buy it. Therefore, if I want to fit in, then I should buy that. That's not your identity. That's not personal style. That's fitting in. And that's why you don't have any style, and that's why you're unhappy. So, I was copying rappers, and that's not me. So this is what I put on the board, because, one of my favorite rappers is Skepta. So I put, that's not me. But, back then I would copy A$AP Rocky a lot, Lil Uzi Vert, Playboy Cardi, around 2016, 2017 time. And this is because when you're a teenager, you think that being like everyone else is what will make you popular. And therefore, you do what other people like, because if you see something as socially acceptable, you're more willing to try it. And ASAP Rocky is amazing, and he has a very strong personal style. So when I started to copy his style, when I started to experiment with my style, I learned that personal style is personal, which sounds so simple, but it's true. Copying other people will only get you so far. When you stand out from the crowd, this is when people notice you. So the next point is too many options. Of course, once you actually start, then you realize there's choice paralysis. Choice paralysis is a big one because when you go into a shopping mall, there's so many different stores, there's so many different things on the clothing rack. You think, what should I buy for me? And most people go into a shopping center with no plan or no wardrobe system, and we'll get to system after this. But most people go through their style and buying new things impulsively based on what other people like. They might see an Instagram ad and they buy the dress because it's in right now. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if it's not your style, then you shouldn't buy it. Otherwise, it will make you unhappy and it will sit in your wardrobe for months. It's happened many times with my clients. So choice paralysis it's a big one, The paradox of choice is that you get stuck in trends and you're never fully happy with yourself. And fashion trends, there isn't anything wrong with fashion trends. Fashion trends are a marketing tactic at the end of the day. It's how the big brands constantly sell you new things, because otherwise, why would people buy new items all the time? To keep up. Humans they love to conform. They love to buy what's in right now. There's nothing wrong with any of this. If a certain fashion trend fits your personal style, then you should buy it. But most people buy fashion trends to, show on social media that they're trendy, that they're up to date, that they're buying new things all the time. Because if they're not buying new things all the time, then they're poor, or whatever human beings think, right? We think of many things. We think we're too judgmental on ourselves. So there's many things that psychologically go through someone's brain when they go shopping for something. Most of the time we shop for things and we're trying to make other people happy, not ourselves. That literally makes no sense. Like, we should be thinking of our happiness first rather than what other people think. And that's how you build a strong personal style. You go into a shopping center and you have a framework. So actually, first of all, before I say that, I want to explain to you that one client I had over 200 items in their wardrobe, and it was chaos every time they got dressed in the morning. And there was always events that they had to go to. They were speaking at important events. This person was a very significant person in Australia. And I went through her wardrobe, and most of it was too trendy. It was one thing that was different every single time. And I told her she needs to have a wardrobe formula, 4 to 5 different outfits that she can consistently change all the time, so it never feels the same. And once you realize your formula and your formulas, it becomes so much easier in the morning. You have clarity. You don't have chaos anymore. You go through life less stressed every morning. And when you're less stressed in the morning, the rest of your day becomes easier because you're not worried so much all the time. You dress for yourself, so therefore your happiness comes first instead of external validation. So the framework that I want to explain to you is you need to have a signature style, because most people do not have a system, and therefore their wardrobes are chaotic. And humans always crave structure and predictability, even in self-expression. Because if your style is always different every day, then you're a different person each day, and you're not representing yourself authentically. When someone looks at your style one day and another day, they should be able to find patterns emerging. For example, me, I love to layer button-up shirts with a shirt underneath. Especially here in Dubai, where the weather is so hot, you have to find new ideas to be stylish. I love sunglasses, that's my signature. I love chunky jewelry, I love silver jewelry as well. These are my signature styles. When someone looks at me and they see me on another day, I'm not performing. Most people, when they get dressed, they perform because they're performing for social media. They're performing for societal expectations. They're performing for their partner, maybe. Who knows? I'm not here to judge. I'm just here to make you more aware of what you're doing. Ask yourself, am I performing when I'm getting dressed? Or am I myself authentically? You need to ask yourself this question. This question will change everything you think about style. So, before I found this system, I was always wasting hours to get dressed. And I was worried so much about what other people thought. And I wanted to do everything for social media instead of for myself. And when I first started posting on social media, I got a lot of hate comments and stuff. And then I started to think I'm not good enough. Started to think that my style is not good. But everyone's style is good. If you dress in a way that's authentically yourself and you are happy with how you're dressed, then that's all that matters. Not these people that are hating online or these people that say something when you're passing them by on the street. Dress for yourself. And once you have the wardrobe system, as we'll get into it, you will feel so much freer. Your mental clarity will be out of this world. You will start to realize how big mindset is, not just on life, on career, on relationships, but on fashion as well. Fashion is mindset, guys. So most of my clients, when they come to me, they don't have the framework. And then I see the before and after of how different they look. And because everyone's different in this world, every time I work with a client that I style, it's always a different challenge. So if you're looking at other people for advice all the time, it doesn't make sense, because their life is different, their challenges are different, their hobbies, their lifestyle, their career is different. So they're giving you advice from their perspective, which is okay. Constructive criticism is okay. But if someone passes you by on the street and insults you, their life is miserable and you shouldn't listen to them. Listen to the people you trust instead. I often worry too much about what other people think. Even today, I'm human. And I've gotten better at this. My social anxiety has lowered a lot through my confidence and through fashion and my expression. But I'm still a human being. I receive many comments, hundreds of comments on my content. And of course, not all of them are good. It's impossible to have all of them be saying something good. And you don't want something to be good all the time, because fashion is subjective. Fashion is art. If you believe that fashion is art, you will change your whole approach to how you dress every morning. Because fashion and art are meant to stir opinion. They're meant to get people thinking. And if someone does not like your outfit, but they still respect you, that's good. That means that your outfit represents you authentically. If someone trashes your outfit and they just walk by and you keep thinking about it all day, who cares what they think? Your opinion, your outfit caused them to have such an opinion that they got heated over it. You don't understand that? You should be happy with yourself that you caused an opinion. That means you created art. In the morning that day, you made an outfit like an artist made a painting. And when an artist makes a painting, not everyone loves the painting, right? So be happy with your choice. This is how you rewire your brain. So the fix to find your personal style from scratch is this: identity, lifestyle, fit, color, wardrobe system. So beginning with identity, who are you? This is the biggest question, right? Who are you? What do you want to communicate to the world? Fashion is communication. Fashion is all about communication. So put yourself in your notes app. So open it up or open a diary and ask, what is your style? Who do you like? Whose style do you like? Who do you want to look like? Don't dress exactly like them, but this will make it easier when you're making Pinterest boards and inspiration. So, what is the image you want to communicate to the world? How do you want to represent yourself to the world? 8 billion people in this world. How do you want to represent yourself? Everyone is different, therefore everyone should have a different answer to this question. And this is why I love fashion, because not many people think about this. And then when I start to style them and they think about it, their brain opens up in so many ways. They have a glow on their face. They're like, wow, I did not think about it like this.
so in depth before. And this is why I believe fashion is psychology. Once you start asking yourself these questions, everything changes. So after you put all of that into the Notes app, start to search on Pinterest and make a Pinterest board saying my style, and then search for the people that you really like and start to put it together. And then every morning before you get dressed, the outfit that you have on, does it communicate your identity? This is the most important one. This is why I put it first. Now, second, of course, is your lifestyle. Your clothes must suit your day-to-day lifestyle. What is your lifestyle? If you're a stay-at-home mum, you want to wear comfortable clothes because you're looking after your children, you're you're cooking, you're going for a walk, maybe you're walking the dog, things like that. So you're not going to wear elegant clothes all day, right? You're going to be wearing things that suit your body shape, that are comfortable, that you can move around in, that maybe you will get stained because you're cooking and you're with the kids. So you got to ask yourself, if you're a founder, your lifestyle is different to that of a stay-at-home mum. So these two lifestyles are completely different. So if you're looking at someone's like a celebrity or influencer and their lifestyle is to go to restaurants every day, to do brand collaborations, to get paid for, communicating what the brand wants them to communicate. They have a completely different lifestyle to you, and you shouldn't compare yourself to them in that sense. You can always use them as inspiration in small ways. For example, if a influencer that you really like always likes to wear scarves wrapped around their head, and you really like this, but you never tried it, try it out. And maybe you love it, maybe you hate it, but at least you tried. So your lifestyle is very important to how you should dress. And this is one of the most important questions I ask to my clients when I style them. Your fit. Number 3, your fit. Fitted clothing. Confidence. Fitted clothing equals confidence, guys. This is called embodied cognition. When you put on an outfit and it's fitted sloppily, it doesn't fit you properly, your confidence decreases. And sometimes this is subconscious or it is apparent. It could happen either way. Most men do not realize that they are, because of the fit of their clothes, that they're unconfident, and they think it's something else. Whereas women are usually they usually know that there's a problem because they're adjusting their body all the time. And a lot of the women that I've styled, they have amazing body shapes, but their clothes do not represent how amazing their body shape is because they're buying the wrong clothes and it's not tailored to them. I made a whole video on fit, so if you want to watch that, I'll put it up here. But when your clothes are not fitted, then obviously you're going to have less confidence. And whether it's subconscious or apparent, you should fix this as soon as possible. And I love to tailor my clothes because I'm a very tall individual. I'm 6'5", 196 centimeters, 195 centimeters. And my legs are very long, my arms are very long, my waist is very small, and my shoulders are very broad. So I need to tailor my clothes often. Sometimes I like to wear a bit of a baggier outfit, but it still matches my proportions. So fit is very important, and many people do not put an emphasis on it. But once you have a proper fit, it will help you with your style. And color. Of course, I have to mention color because I love color. And color impacts perception and your mood. And this is psychologically proven that dopamine dressing boosts your mood. When you dress in color, it releases dopamine receptors. And once these dopamine receptors are released, that's what causes you happiness. So if you can dress in color and make yourself more happy, and you love color, then you should dress in color. If you love to wear the black, the grey, the navy, the white, nothing wrong with those colors. You should wear those colors if that's your style. But if you love color and your environment, people around you are always not wearing color, and then therefore you don't want to wear color, then first of all, you should do things for yourself. And you should always be yourself. You shouldn't do anything you shouldn't do anything for other people. Me coming from Sydney, everyone's always dressed in monochrome colors, and I stood out so much because I wore color. And people would often say things about me. People would say things to me, and they would assume things about me that are not true. And that says more about them than it says about me at the end of the day. Judgment is a big issue that I talk about in every video. But humans are afraid to be judged. But you know what? People are going to judge you anyway. So you should just be yourself and do yourself and live life to the fullest, because life is too short. I can tell you that with 100% guarantee that you will have a lot of regrets if you don't be your authentic self. My dad passed away 3 years ago, and there's so many regrets I have. But one of the biggest regrets is to not do more with him while he was here. Cancer took him too early. So when I say life is short, life is very, very short. So every day you should dress to the fullest. You should live life to the fullest. Stop worrying about other people's thoughts, because if they're going to think something, they're always going to think something. No matter if you're well dressed, no matter if you're poorly dressed, they're going to say something about you, because that's them. They're miserable. They're miserable with themselves, and they want to put more misery into the world. Misery loves company, as they say. So color is huge, and different colors communicate different things. Yellow communicates happiness, blue communicates authority. It also can communicate sadness in some areas, but it depends on what you do with the color, right? Purple has always been a regal color. This is why I love this color, because purple has been a color used in many different countries and kingdoms around the world to communicate like royalty. That's something I like about the color, because purple to me is my favorite color and stands out so much to other colors. So when you go into a meeting, you want to communicate different things in that meeting. If you're wearing black, people are going to assume you're more authoritative. If you're wearing a neutral color like beige, people are going to assume you're a more casual person. And it depends on where you're going. If you're going to a brunch meeting, of course, maybe don't wear black. Wear something a bit more open. So it just depends on where you're going. 5, wardrobe system. This is pretty much everything together. And signature pieces plus essentials plus interchangeable items equals your style. Everyone in this world should have signature pieces in their wardrobe. Everyone should mix those signature pieces with the essentials and the interchangeable items. Interchangeable items are things like a singlet, like things like a black blazer, things like a nice pair of sunglasses that you can wear with a lot of different outfits. And once you find your signature style, for example, you love to dress as a old money kind of aesthetic, then you should try to you should try to mix different pieces together that communicate that old money aesthetic. So a nice pair of beige trousers, a pair of black loafers, a pair of classic black sunglasses, a neutral colored jacket, a nice cotton button shirt. All of these things together, you can mix and match many different ways. The button shirt can be mixed and matched with this and that. The jacket can be mixed and matched with this and that. And therefore, then you have so many different outfit formulas and different combinations that you can use. And you can never, ever be worried about what you're going to wear each day. Now, old money is just an example. And, most people these days, they just follow TikTok trends too much. So I'm just using that as an example. But you can dress in any way you want to, and once you find your signature style, as I said before, through your identity, that is the main thing. You want to ask, how can I explain what my signature style is in 3 or 4 words? Old money is 2 words. Maybe your style is something else. So just always think of that every time you get dressed in the morning. Always think of that every time you go shopping, and then you'll waste less money. Then you'll be happy with how you communicate yourself to the world, and you will have a personal style. So I want to communicate to you guys that personal style is personal. Always do things for yourself and dress in a way that's authentically, fearlessly yourself, and your happiness and confidence will go through the roof. All of this will help you so much, and I want to tell you guys, stop being afraid of judgment. Stop being afraid of other people's opinions. Do things for yourself instead. And when you put yourself as your number 1 priority in life, everything else will improve as a result, not just your style, your career, your relationships, your opportunities, everything. And, it took me a long time to realize this, many years. I'm 25 now, but when I was 16, 17, I was feeling very low in life. Through fashion, I expressed myself Through fashion, I got to the red carpet events. Through fashion, I got to help people. Through fashion, I got interviewed on TV many times. Through fashion, I got into magazines. So if fashion can help me, a Indian kid from Bankstown, Western Sydney, one of the worst places in the world. No, I'm joking. Bankstown is home, but people have a negative perception of it. But if I can do it, literally anyone can. And I come from humble beginnings. My mum worked at Audi. My dad worked as in a factory as manual labor, forklift driver. So if I can do it, literally anyone can. And you watching this video, I know you can as well. So if you would like to book a one-on-one styling session with me, you can book it through the link below. This is a virtual session over a video call. Otherwise, if you're in Dubai or Abu Dhabi, you can also book me, but in person. So just DM me on Instagram for that. I also have a free style confidence starter guide. That's an ebook in the link below as well. And if you want daily style advice and mindset tips that change everything how you think, please follow me on Instagram at bav.xo. Please leave a like and subscribe to this video if you enjoyed, and leave a comment as well. Thank you guys so much. Dress better, live better.